Nuh-uh, you alright.
Turn your-
They say
oh,
that
okay.
all the time to me.
Oh, you said that to me last time too, and I don't never. Okay, somebody join on their phone so we can see. Hopefully.
No, I see me, so. Am I?
We waiting on you to start, baby.
I'm waiting to get some more viewers.
I was just looking at my notes.
You so sweet.
Oh, you want me to stay on it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm on it. So how about I look at my notes?
When you guys join the live, can you wave for us so we can see who's on here? Okay. Okay, we just gonna start because we already late. Okay, so today's topic is self-love. Again, I'm Tashikwa or Chic. This is Quail, my cousin. She was on here last time, and then this is my friend Shannon. So today's topic is on self-love. Again, these talks are just for women empowerment. Just guidance, sharing wisdom for young women. I want you guys to chime in still and engage. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or you just want to share your own experience, comment on the live. So, yeah. So, and this time is going to be a little different. We're going to just literally have girl talk. That's why I want you guys to comment. We're just going to talk amongst each other, but we still going to read the comments. So, just make sure you guys engage. But first things first, I'll start with Quill. So, what do you think is self-love? Like, what is your definition of self-love? What does it mean to you?
Well, to me, I would say, self-love would be pretty much just like self-care. Like, how do you take care of yourself? And not just taking care of yourself as far as like hygiene or different things like that, but more or less like your mind, body, of course, which has to do with like health, whether if you exercise, different things like that, keeping yourself together. And then also spiritually, I would say that is like another like big thing as far as for self-care. And that's pretty much it. Like, you want me to like explain or whatever?
No, I just wanted the definition first.
Yeah, that's my perception of self-care. Just taking care of yourself full circle. Not just as far as like hygiene, but also making sure you take care of your mind, making sure you take care of yourself spiritually, and also physically as well, because they all go together. It's all a connection, and you want to protect your energy. And so, when you taking care of yourself, you also teach other people how to take care of you. How you represent you taking care of yourself. And so, I just like to think that those three all go together.
Yeah. To me, self-love is like getting to know yourself, spending that time with yourself, seeing what you like to do, just spending that quality time with yourself, praying with God, because He knows us better than we know ourselves sometimes. So I think all of that,
all the time.
And yeah, like you said, taking care of your mind, your body, your energy, your spirit, all of that is a part of self-love. It can go so many different directions, so we just gonna kind of keep going in different directions after we get everybody's definition. So what's your definition, Shannon?
Well, I guess it would be the same, kind of what you said, like self-discovery.
Yeah.
And really finding who you are and you're gonna change over your life, and different circumstances is gonna change you or for the better, and then you're gonna have good times and bad times in your life, and kind of loving yourself through it and loving each version of yourself. That's
good.
Yeah. How I see it.
Do you think if y'all can hear us, if y'all can't hear us, comment and let us know, because it seemed like we kind of far, but so I did look up the definition of self-love. I think we all kind of covered it though, but I'll still read it. My handwriting ugly. So I did self-love, then I did the definition of self, and then I did the definition of love. So for self-love, it just says regard for one's own well-being and happiness. And it kind of just talked about little things like taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. So I think that's like a big one, because we think like it's okay to help people. I mean, y'all can cut me off when you join in or whatever, but it's okay to help people. But when you helping people and you putting yourself on the back burner, now you are risking growing into the person that you want to be. Mm-hmm. So that is harming your self-love. Like
I think morally what it has to be is you have to learn to have a balance. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, we want to still be people that can help and care for others, but you can't do anything for nobody else if you haven't already got yourself together.
Yeah. Right.
And so I think it has to be a balance. You have to be someone that is willing to help somebody, but you got to make sure yourself is together to a certain extent, or maybe to what you desire before giving somebody else you. And that even goes off into like relationship wise, mm-hmm. whether it be like friends or a spouse, whatever. You just want to make sure you have that balance, make sure you have yourself together predominantly before you start giving other people you.
Right. So. Yeah. And then what did it say? Oh, not settling for less than what you deserve. So that, I think that goes into a lot of people. First thing, me too. First thing when I think about self-love, my mind automatically revert to a relationship, because people lack so much self-love when they're in a relationship. They're dependent on that other person
to make them feel
loved
about themselves. And if they're not feeling that person's into them, or
mm-hmm.
I don't know why he doesn't want to spend time with me, or whatever it is, they don't feel good about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking, like, I tried to like steer my mind away from the relationship part of it, because I think that's a no-brainer. We can still talk about it, but I think too, when it said not settling for less than what you deserve, I think that is so much more than just a relationship. Like, that could be career-wise, that could be friendship-wise, that could be the type of car you think you should be driving, anything
and
like that.
Even removing yourself from a situation, just knowing I love myself more than to risk my career over this. I love myself more than, anything to stoop this low, to respond to some type of negativity. I think that self-love.
And I literally had to, like, when I was in a relationship with the person I was with, like after high school and during high school and stuff, like when I got to that point where I was just fed up or tired, like I literally would have to tell myself, because we miss somebody and we want to, just because you miss that person because you're so used to being with that person all the time or talking to that person all the time, you would just revert back into it, because you'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk to them, but I'm going to just see how they doing, or I'm going to just, like, I'm bored, so I'm going to just find something to do. But, so it just makes you go back to something that you shouldn't be in. And I literally used to tell myself all the time, and people thought it was, well, like, people laughed, like, when I said it, or, but it was real. Like, I really had to tell myself all the time, like, you love yourself more than that. Like, you love yourself more than to go back to the situation, because it doesn't make you feel good. It feels good for the moment, but I just keep reminding myself, like, and I remember one of my friends, because I would say it, even if I wasn't saying it to myself, and I could be talking to one of my friends, and we'd talk about it, and I'd be like, I love myself too much for that, though. And then they one time, one of my friends was like, who are you trying to convince? Us or you or him? I said both. Both of us, because I gotta tell myself to keep myself on track. And so
it kind of touches base with what you guys were talking about last week.
Yeah,
it's kind of that discipline, dedication of just knowing what you want, the end result.
You can go ahead, Shannon. I was just looking at the comments.
No, but just not giving in to the now, not giving in. It takes a lot of self-love,
self-discipline,
self-respect, exactly.
Yeah, that's
all that goes into self-love. All of that.
Yeah.
DeMarjay commented. He said sometimes people take advantage of givers, especially when they find out the length you'll go for them. I think he was talking about what we was talking about a little bit before we got here.
Oh, helping other people.
Yeah.
People will definitely take advantage, and you gotta love yourself enough to be able to, like Shannon said, remove yourself from that situation. And people might feel a type of way, or might try to make it seem like you being funny or you don't like them. It's not that. You just like you more than you like them. Like, and
that's okay.
Like, sometimes you have it's a good selfish and it's a bad selfish. When it comes to you and your well-being and you being in good spirits and you elevating, that type of selfishness is always good, because you just gotta hold yourself sometimes away from other things and other people, or they'll just taint what you got going on. Like Cole said, protecting your energy. Like, I've been on this like little thing, like, I'm gonna say it anyway. No, like, we started so late today because on my way to go get Quill, come to China House, my car literally just stopped in the middle of Telegraph. Like, just stopped. And I'm just like, oh, this is nothing but the devil. Like,
stop it from happening.
Yes, but I've been so strong on my energy and keeping a good attitude and keeping faith and just staying positive and stuff like that, that I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I gotta park my car. My mom gave me her car, and I still gotta go, and I still gotta do this. Like, if this was me like a year or two ago, I'd have been like, oh, well, this canceled. I'm not going to work tomorrow because I gotta figure this out. Like, I would have been so stressed out, and I just was like, okay, no, like, I'm not gonna let this get to me, because I know what my purpose is now, and I know what I gotta do to get to it. But
look at my notes.
One other thing I wrote down, it says self-love motivates you to make healthy choices in life, which is 100% accurate. If you are not in a good space because you have not been taking the time to love yourself, you will find yourself making all these type of wild, crazy decisions and never pushing forward because you just keep making bad decisions. You just steady going back. Like, you're not thinking right. You're not in the right space because you haven't been taking that time to sit down, figure it out, get your thoughts together, or spend time with God, whatever you need to do to get your mind right. You're not taking that time. Like, time is a big part of self-love.
Well, and it kind of, like, earlier when you messaged us, you had mentioned about, starting from home, starting when you're young, and I say this, I'm saying it to say that sometimes you find yourself in life, either you start off with not much self-love, and you don't feel like you were maybe in a raising environment with self-love, or maybe you just got a relationship and you're in the situation that you're saying where you're making all these bad decisions because your self-love is just to the floor.
Right.
It's definitely about building it.
Yeah.
Driving it. I don't even know where I was going to be. Antonio don't let me talk. But yeah.
Well, to kind of chime off of that, I think Sheik will mention basically about, like, knowing yourself, getting to know yourself. Like you said, building it. I think that's the process of it, of, like, building your self-love as well, like getting to know yourself more. Because for a lot of us, like for myself, my mom, always loved well on her children and everything, but it would be said that basically, like, I guess because I didn't have my actual dad in the home. I had my stepdad in the home, which, of course he was still there as a father figure or whatever, but there was still some brokenness there because I didn't have my actual father. And so my mom still did teach me, how to love myself as a woman, how to carry myself, and, when it comes to taking care of your home and, like, different things like that. But like you said, even still, once I got to high school and after, leaving from high school, I had to learn to build things myself. And really, honestly, for me, it took me having a relationship with God, because until I got that relationship, I didn't understand where I was broken. I didn't understand where certain cracks and creases was that I needed to be put back together. But in the time of me, building that relationship with him and him revealing to me the areas that was broken and that I had cracks, I was beginning to learn myself. Mm-hmm. And so as I began to learn myself more, I continued to learn how to love myself better, whereas from time before when I was in high school, those that know my past know I was not who I am today. So, but I like to think a lot of people go through them phases. I'm not the only one, but everybody go through those phases. But at that time, I wasn't loving myself properly. And so when I engaged in certain relationships and different things like that, the people that I would encounter loved me or liked me or dealt with me how I dealt with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
what
I think
you allowed.
Yeah.
And to go off of that, I feel like my childhood growing up was, my mom showed me a strong, independent woman raising us 4 kids on her own. She covered everything across the board as far as responsibility and really just grinding. Mm-hmm. But as far as being very, loving and emotional and really kind of touching base with even having these type of talks. Yeah. Some girls and some women don't just have these at home. They don't just have a mom, sitting on the floor with them having these girl talks. Mm-hmm. And I think she was so busy and caught up with, trying to provide. Mm-hmm. So I say that to say I was in a relationship very young, and he's a great man and a great father. But since we didn't.
Okay, wait, because I want.
Yeah.
Let me read these comments, but I was gonna ask you about this anyways.
Okay.
Because I want Shannon to explain how she rediscovered herself, but if you okay with that.
Yeah. Well, okay. I should have thought about it.
We got 2 comments though. 3. My mom said, yes, self-respect is a big part of self-love. I don't understand. She's been wanting to say this for the longest, but she said, I don't understand how women say they love themselves, but yet call themselves the B word. And then when a man says it, they get mad. So, which is true. I mean, you can't
You can't get to the same thing that what we was saying.
Talk down on yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta speak life into yourself. You gotta speak over yourself. Speak stuff into existence. Whether it is just saying, I'm an independent woman, or I'm a strong woman, or
good
anything. Yeah, anything like that. When you call it, when you just belittling yourself at that point. Mm-hmm. So you are giving somebody else the right to do it too, because
you're showing them how to treat you.
Yeah. Nobody knows how to treat you unless you show them how to treat you, or you position yourself in a way to be how,
and I think no one really thinks about it that deep, and that's why we kind of let it just go over our shoulders. Mm-hmm. Like, oh well, I just call my girlfriends and I say this to each other. But when you do sit down and have these type of talks, you realize this is when you kind of say, it's not something.
Me and Ronnie have argued about this so much. Cause no, I do not say this. No, I don't let him call me on my name. He never wanted to or even did anyways. But we have had a talk where it's like, oh, you and your friends say it. Not saying that he would. I think it was really more so talking about his friend. But you and your friends say it. But if I was to say it or another man was to say it, then it's the issue. Which I do it all the time. But to us, it's just like, it's basically like, girl, shut up. Yeah. Like another way of that, But yeah, when you actually think about it, you speaking that over your friend and you speaking that over yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's not displaying a good example of self-love or self-respect. Then DeMar J said, I agree with Quill and Shannon. It does start in your home and where you come from. And Faith said exactly what Quill said. The way you treat yourself is how people will treat you. So yeah, you gotta love that's why it's important to love yourself first before you try to give love to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't got it all together and you messed up and you don't love each other, you don't love yourself, you are toxic, and you bring in the toxic into something, in a situation. So now even if that person does have self-love and all that, you displaying this energy, so that energy is just being transferred back and forth. So it's just creating a toxic environment. That's why it's good to spend time with yourself, not jump from relationship to relationship or friendship to friendship. I don't care what it is, even job to job. You gotta sit there, learn, grasp what you can grasp, grab the knowledge that you need, and all that, and then move on to the next thing. So you're growing, not just staying stagnant or going backwards.
Right.
Faith said it's all about self-love for sure, yet and still sometimes you will still deal with certain stuff you wouldn't normally put up with.
Yeah.
I would say, not to discredit what you're saying, Faithy, but I would say you would deal with it to a certain extent because it's still along the lines of like building yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so when you still in your time of like building, then yeah, you're gonna deal with or even have people come up against you with stuff that you like. Okay, this this is not what I'm going to put up with or that I'm about. But once you get yourself to that point where it's like, okay, I know me and this is where I am. Anything out beneath that, you're not going to put up with it. You're not going to deal with it.
I would say, I do feel that. I kind of get both sides, because you can be somebody who know themselves and have self-love, but it could be little bitty things that you're just like, okay, well, that's not really nothing to trip over, like, you know, but you'll let it happen. But if you don't correct it right then, it'll happen again, and you would just be like, oh, it's not really nothing, when really it's gonna start building, and it will start trying. It will take a different hold or a toll on you than it did before, but you still let it happen, like, you know, and it's something that you decide to deal with because you know who you are, and you're confident in you, and it don't bother you that much, like, you know.
That's what I said. In those times, it'll be in your process of, you know, still building.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you still building, then you will kind of, like, let certain stuff linger, like, deal with certain stuff. But and I like to think even for myself, like, I'm not completely there yet, but I do, you know,
That's
I have,
what I
got, you
say.
know,
like, I really think that everyone should know, and young women should know, every woman should know, building is, to what I believe, is just a never-ending process.
Yeah, it's still a process.
And you'll see yourself, you could fall back. You could see yourself like, wow, I can't believe I have went this far in my life. I was not allowing X, Y, and Z to happen to me, or I was, you know, not putting myself in those positions, and then I let myself go, you know, and my self-love went with it, and then here I am building again. And then I just feel like you're forever going to be changing. You're forever going to be growing. That should be your goal, is to grow in life, and you're gonna, and
every
self-love
situation
is
is gonna be
evolve.
different. Every situation that come up against you gonna be different too. So like you said, you constantly changing with what's changing in your life. You're constantly, you know what I'm saying, rebuilding with what's taking place in your life. So
Okay, so Shan, because you kind of already just touched on it again. Like,
if it's her testimony, it's her testimony.
But I just want. Because, can I just share a little bit first?
Yeah.
So, Shannon is 27?
None of your business.
She is in her 20s.
She's 28. I'm
28. Okay. 28. She, I wish I could show y'all her house right now. But 28, 3 beautiful kids. She's been married. She's went to school. She's going back to school. Right now, she is a single mom of 3 kids, though. She stayed in Clarkston. Her kids go to school in Clarkston. Her refrigerator stay full. Her kids stay with clothes for every season. She is a medical assistant right now. She just got a new job, a new good job, better job. All her jobs been good, better job. But like I said, she's a single mother of 3 kids, and it's not easy. She's only 28. Her kids are
12, 9, and 7.
12, 9, and 7. So y'all do the math.
Right.
So I just want her. This nigga, RJ said she look good for her age. She young. You said it like I said she was 40.
She was good for her age. See.
Oh, he said I just wouldn't have thought 28.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, I just want her to kind of share how she got to this point. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm just gonna kind of explain what her house looked like. So before because she doing good, and I'm proud of my friend. But when you come in, she got like a small living area, and then y'all see we in one living room. So she basically got 2 living rooms. Off that living room is a room. Her kitchen is full. She has a little island right there. Living room is long. She got a fireplace. Her kids got their own rooms, 2 bathrooms. Like, so.
Hold on, y'all. She left out the whole other room for the laundry area.
Oh, yeah. Her shower. Yes, her master bedroom. She could see the sun or whatever the sky looking like. She could see it in her bathroom while she's taking. So her house is nice. It's cute. So
it's
I just wanted to.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
That's
she's
good.
comfortable.
I'm stable. I'm comfortable. My kids are comfortable. We're not on top of each other. So thank you, friend.
Yeah. But she's only 28, so I just want her to kind of share her story and how she got to this point and how she had to. Faith says Skylight. Okay, Shannon. I just want her to kind of share a little bit how she got to this point, because I know it's a lot of young people that have kids and think their life is over or complain about it being hard, or it's not gonna be easy. So I just want her to kind of share.
So how did you do this?
So it would take all night, but I had my oldest when I was really young. I was still 15 when I had her, and I was with their father, who, is your camera good? I'm sorry, just wanted to make sure.
Oh, it is, girl, but my phone busted. It's not gonna die though. Hopefully it don't.
Okay.
Girl,
So
charge it up.
pretty much, I'm trying to think in my head how to really sum it up. Even though, like I said earlier, he is a great man, he's a great father, we didn't click. We didn't, where we were supposed to. We didn't even know, we aren't even the same people we were when we were 15.
Right.
You aren't either. So it didn't work out, but it really took a toll on my self-love, which was already depleted before I even knew him. Because I just wasn't, like I said earlier, I wasn't raised, with all that extra love and girl talk. And so I would say it took a lot. We separated, we divorced when I was 21 or 22. And that's after having the 3 kids. And it took a lot of building. I wasn't in a good spot for a while. I allowed myself to be in not bad situations, but just situations that I'm above. Situations that I knew didn't serve me any purpose. And it took a lot but I never stopped wanting to grow. I never stopped wanting to go to school. I did CNA when I was like 18. I was like, I need to do that. I got my GED. I had tried to go back from my high school, ended up getting my GED, and then did CNA, and I worked full-time midnight for a while because I didn't have a babysitter during the day. And then I just always wanted to build. I went to OCC for a while and got some prereqs done, and then I ended up going to Dorsey where I met my friend. Ended up getting my medical assistant certification, and then I just kept building. Never stopped trying to grow. Never, and because my mom was so sure on raising me to be, responsible and hardworking, those are things that just came easily for me. Yeah. And my kids come first, so that really. But as far as finding my self-love, it to this day is just taking time to get to know myself. I like to write. Well, I don't really like to write. I like to jot notes. Like if my goals, writing my goals out that you guys were talking about last time. Writing my goals down, what I actually want for my life, what what I want for my life. I know. Just everything. I think the wanting to grow, the growth in my life, that's what's got me here. That want. And that's what, wanting more for myself, wanting more for my children, you start building that self-love back up. Remembering what you want, what you deserve, loving your flaws, loving what makes you unique, loving the people around you. My circle has always stayed small. It's either family or 1 or 2 friends, and just people I have no tolerance for someone in my life that I know is not what isn't meant to be in my life. I have no tolerance for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's part of my self-love.
Right.
I wish I had a better testimony.
No, you do though. Like, because a lot of people don't. Oh snap! Somebody just. Faith said, "Man, what? Everything seems so much harder after having a kid. No more easy routes."
It's no. It took it. That's true. It's not. I have to credit like being a single mother. I've been a single mother, but their father's great as far as helping. But so I say that to say I had a great support system. My mom is my rock. My twin sister, she's my rock. My family in general, and then my friends. The friends that I do have will always be there for me. Always have been there for me. So that's always helped. But just don't give up. Don't stop in aspiring to grow in life, and then figure out what you need to grow, even if it's just a small itty bitty step. And you feel like when I went to school for medical assisting, I was like, when I came out of school, I ended up starting to make less than what I made at the job before. But now I am way above and beyond that. I mean, but not where I want to be. Not I'm not finished.
Right.
So
don't like to the point where Shannon. This is how much drive you have to have. She has 3 kids and worked 3 jobs.
Yeah.
3 jobs. So that she was working every single day.
Yeah.
So it's all
twice a day.
Yeah. It's all just going back to that self-love. How much do you love yourself to keep going? How much do you love yourself to keep that support system around you and not let people in that are going to hinder you? How much do you love yourself just to be like, this is the goal that I want and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get to it? And writing those goals, all of it goes back to the previous conversation too, writing those goals down and being self-disciplined to go get it. Like, because nobody's going to do it for you. And you can't go through life thinking that people owe you stuff or people should help you or give you a handout because now you had a baby. And I don't have no kids, but I don't expect anything from anybody. Like, and I don't think anybody should. Just because you have a kid or a baby or more than one kid, it's not going to change it's not going to change how it was before.
Yeah.
Like, it's still the same. Nobody owes you anything. So I think if you go through life and you have that self-determination and you know you are the only person that can change your situation, you will keep rediscovering yourself.
Just
and
keep pushing. Keep going. There was a time in school where 3 months into school, it felt like everything just fell flat in my life. I mean, you remember.
Yeah, DeMarjay said, so would you say having a kid at a young age and continuing doing everything that you're doing made you love yourself more? Or
absolutely. Well, I don't even know how to answer that question. I don't know if it made me love myself more compared to what? To not having them at a young age? Or what?
I think he's saying like having a kid at a young age and having to have it harder.
Oh.
Made you appreciate yourself more and acknowledge the fact that you are strong and you did it, like, opposed to
now that yeah. I mean, and when my self-love wasn't there, that's the thing, when the love for my kids was there. So
right.
Even if I wasn't doing it for me, I had to do it for them. But some people don't have children, and you got to find that reason of why you're doing it.
Me.
And you got to find your purpose.
Right.
And it's all about discovering what your purpose is.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I always I'm not gonna say always, I did not always know what my purpose was. I thought I knew. I really thought I knew, like I said before in the previous conversation. What you do?
I was making faces.
Girl. But yeah, I thought I knew, because I always been goal oriented, so I thought I knew what I wanted. But I never, and I knew that I needed to take the time to figure it out too. Because when I first got out of high school, I told my parents I did not want to go to school right off the bat because I'm like, I need this year to just, you know, get it together. But, you know, people have that thing that if you don't go to school right after high school, you're not going to go. So I had to go anyways. But I probably just, I started knowing what my purpose was, but I probably just came to accept it this year. And we are only in February. So, I mean, like, but I had to, honestly, I had to get in God's face and and I had to just accept it. Like, and I had already started accepting what God wanted from me, because I wanted to go to school for nursing. I tried banking. I did not like it at first, and I quit that job. And then my mom told me, like, her friend worked at the bank and wanted to refer me. And I'm just like, I'm not going back to that. Like, you know. But mom told me, like, I think God has this job for you. And I'm just like, I just still was like, whatever. When I tell y'all, I put that job off for almost a month. And they were waiting for me. They would call. I did my interview. I did my phone interview. I put it off. They kept calling for my face-to-face interview. I did that. And then I put it off, like, doing my background check part. And then they were still waiting, calling. And I finally did it, and I started as a teller. And now I just took a test. My boss, not my manager, my manager's boss, loves me. The favor of God. She loves me. I don't know why, but we just sat down, and I just took a test to get another promotion. So this will be my second promotion with this job, and I've been there for 3 years. Yeah. And no, I don't have it yet, but I'm speaking into existence.
It's gonna happen.
So it's mine, and I'm going for it. But I know that is a part of my purpose, and I know me speaking to young women and stepping out of my comfort zone and starting these different businesses that I'm starting is a part of my purpose. So now at this point, it's just like I have accepted it, and I'm just like, whatever God wants me is what I'm gonna do, because I know He knows me better than myself. Like, I'm still learning myself. I do take the time now. I do stuff. And it's so funny because Shannon is the only other person I know. Me and her are the only people that do stuff like go to the movies by herself. Like, and I'm not talking about me and her together. I'm talking about she'll go whenever she go and I go. And I thought I was the only person that did that, and she do it too. But we just, that's when you know you comfortable to spend time with
yourself,
you.
Yes.
Like,
and it's powerful.
I don't go to the movies by myself, but
it's
I will
powerful.
go out to eat by
see,
myself.
and that's the one that I will shop by myself.
Yes.
I'll work out by myself.
So, yeah.
I haven't got to the point of going out to eat by myself.
I go out to eat by myself in the
I haven't got to
In
the corner.
Look,
By
I done went a
myself.
couple times and pulled my Bible out too while you
See?
playing. Don't even play with me.
See,
It's
I think if I
powerful. When
had-
you're comfortable in your own, by yourself, it's.
I think if I did have like a book, because I love reading. That's something I do by myself. Sometimes I might do it with my little other human being, but
I just got one thing to say because I want to make sure that everybody know this. I'm trying not to cry a little bit, but so some time ago I had gave my cousin a word and told her that God said when she finally said yes, that money was just gonna come from both ways. And so I'm just excited. Like, y'all probably like, why is Quill not saying nothing? Because I'm just like marinating, just like the word coming to pass, what God is doing. And so, I'm just thankful.
And I have been and this just goes back to spending time with yourself too, and spending time with God. I think when you spend time with God, that's a chance for you to spend time with yourself too, because you are open to, your mind is in a different place to accept stuff and learn stuff about yourself, and it's your time to be vulnerable. Like, because I always have a guard up, so that's somebody I can always be as vulnerable as I want to be. And these past few weeks, I just shared a post that this girl I work with, I actually trained her, and she's in the same position as me, but she posted something saying, like, in the past couple weeks, God has opened her eyes and revealed so much to her and stuff like that. And that has literally happened because I just said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what God wants me to do, and I'm going to see where this takes me. And just to be able to hear from God and everything be so clear is just so amazing. Like, if that don't get you going, I don't know. I don't know what will. Like, you just gotta spend that time when you not doing nothing. Spend that time with yourself, or spend that time with God, like, and just figure out who you are and what you want to do. And once you figure it out, don't let nothing stop you. Like,
I would say this, and I'm trying not to, like, you know, get too, you know, with God and everything, because I know that's not what her foundation is right now, whatever, as far as, like, for the girl talk anyways. But like, for myself, it's been a challenge. Like, I've given God my life, and I told him, you know, like, I'm going to live for him and everything, but I've still been challenged with letting go, like, completely letting go of myself and letting God have his way. And the scripture that just keeps coming back to me is to not lean on to lean to your own understanding, but, you know, in all your ways acknowledge God and let him have his way. And just going back even to the building of self-love, God was revealing to me the reason why it was so hard for me to let go and allow him to, you know, have his way in my life is because I have been broken so many times from this and from that and from that. And because of that, I built walls. I built so many walls that even after he was, like, changing and turning my life around, I'm thinking, oh, okay, you know, I'm good now, but then here's another wall. And so, just like Shannon was saying, like, in your process of building, like, it's a continuous process, whether you're saved or not saved. Like, it's a continuous process of being built and tearing this wall down and then rebuilding it, whether with God or, you know, yourself. It's a continuous process to keep going over and over, because for a lot of people like myself and like Shannon, you know, having a single mom and, you know, like I said, statistically, they say if you don't have a dad in the home, then you're more prone to, you know, being broken, or, you know, maybe not loving yourself as you should because you don't have that dad or, you know, that father to continuously tell you how beautiful you are. You may have your mom do it, but it's a little bit different when you hear your dad. And so, you know, just knowing that, and then knowing the things that I went through. My mom was always a loving, caring, wonderful woman, always made sure she loved on her children, but, like, same thing like Shannon said, my mom was always constantly busy. She always went to work, you know, made sure she took care of the home. And so in that, stuff like this wasn't there. You know, I didn't get to sit down and have that mom and daughter conversation, just, you know, little things like that. And stuff like that helps build you, you know. And so now I'm at a process where I'm 26 years old. I don't mind telling my age because I know I still look good. But
girl,
but now I'm 26 years old.
Not old. Y'all is not old.
But I'm just saying, because, you know, people be trying to, like, you close to 30? Oh, well. Okay, but anyway.
You close to 30. I'm really close.
But, you know, I find myself now at this age where I'm, you know, still building because of the things that I went through from before, being broken, and those walls happen to be tore down so that I can rebuild. And so I just wanted to share that because, you know, just listening from what she was saying, I'm still a little bit emotional, so y'all just ignore me a little bit.
And I just wanted to say, like, I think that's what, like, your 20s and early 30s is all about, is building. And just because you honestly, when you're in high school, you know, high school, like, that's your life. Whatever is going on in those moments is all you know. You don't really get to building yourself in the real world until you get out of high school. And then even when you're 18, 19, at that point you are only worried, you trying to be so grown that you don't even know what it takes to be grown, or you haven't even took that time to know yourself. So your 20s are all, that's when you start kind of getting a little bit more serious. And you trying to discover who you are and love yourself. So that whole part is just, all of this is just a building. Like, you just have to accept that you're going through a building phase. And I think a lot of people too compare themselves to other people and what they got going on, and you can't do that because everybody's timing is different. Everybody's growth is different. You have to grow in different areas, and if you compare yourself to somebody else all the time, you're not gonna discover that self-love.
You're gonna deplete your self-love. Exactly.
And that was one of the things that's on here. It says self is a person, essential being that distinguishes them from others. So you have to accept that you are you, that person is
That-
them.
yep.
I love me. You can love that person too, but your love for yourself is completely different. Who you are is completely
journey.
different. Your journey is
Everything.
different. All of that. Everything is completely different.
I think that it kind of shows that by us going into different subjects and us kind of, you know, touching bases on different topics, it's because self-love really is in every aspect of your life. I mean, self-love is how you handle yourself at work. That self-love is how you handle yourself in your relationship, what you allow of your relationship, your friendships. Self-love really goes into everything, I feel like. Everything that you do.
If you
That's
acknowledge
why,
it.
And I feel like, and that's why it kind of touch bases in everything. If you lack self-love, it's like a ripple effect.
And it's
gonna show in your life.
knock more and more things down.
Yeah,
or build
exactly.
more and more things up if you are.
And I
discovering
feel like in us saying that you can come from a home that you really don't feel like you grew up just full of this self-love, it's never too late to just start building it. It's never too late. 35, 56, where you're like, you know what? I'm more than this. I'm better than this. I'm ready. I need to love myself. I'm gonna love myself out of this. I'm gonna love myself through it, and I'm gonna love myself to a different spot.
Yeah.
My foot has been asleep. No, there's no way I'm moving it.
Shannon is funny. I'm not about to play with her.
You been saying see y'all, she did not let herself enough to move that foot.
Don't surround yourself with people who don't notice. Your foot has been asleep. What I say? No, we gonna do this off air.
You made me forget what I was about to say. Let me see. I was about to say something. You made me.
Now it's gonna be awkward. Let me just move.
They gonna be staring at your foot like she still ain't moving.
Okay, let me stop. Okay. Cover it up.
Your mom said
it
the
feels
live
better.
cut off.
What? Somebody just come back on here.
Oh, I could have checked my phone.
Oh, it is only 4 people now. Okay. It cut off.
No.
So I didn't know the live.
She said it's back in.
cut off.
Maybe it was her phone.
Oh, they missed the good parts.
They missed a lot of good parts. Dang, I don't know how long it was off. But
Well, I don't know. You can ask her what was the last thing that she heard, because she the only one that said that. Your mom.
it's only 2 people on here now. Okay. Well, I guess that means we need to be done. Well, I don't know when it cut off, or if it cut off, or how much you guys missed.
Just ask your mama what was the last part that she heard.
I don't think she on here no more.
Oh.
She said it was back on.
Cause Damara J commented and said, "Proud of y'all."
But that was way before she started calling.
Can y'all tell me the last thing y'all heard? So we need to know if we need to end this or we can keep going. I don't know.
I'm still looking.
How long has it been on? I think we went over our mark anyways.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord saints.
All right, well,
This was fun.
yeah, I don't know.
And Shannon didn't want to be
Right, Shannon didn't want to do it. I don't know when it stopped. I hope y'all didn't miss no good stuff. Technology is technology. But, yeah. I don't know what our next topic gonna be yet.
Yeah.
I kind of want to keep dwelling on self-love. I think it's so important, and I think we did good, but I think it's...
Or have them
Yeah,
and see
yeah.
what else do they want you to talk about.
What? Oh, it's going to be next week. It might be next week.
Oh, who else would want to be on? Here.
Okay, yeah, so y'all can comment what y'all want. Y'all can keep going. Wendy, did you just get on here? That's why you said y'all can keep going?
Oh, Wendy.
Y'all comment and tell, yeah, Wendy, respond and say, if you just got on here? Because if you did, you're going to have to go back and watch it, baby girl. But comment what y'all think the next topic should be about, and then let me know if y'all want Shannon and Quill back on, or if somebody else want to join, or y'all want it to just be me. Or if y'all want to hear more about anybody's story or just anything, y'all comment now while we on the live, and tell us what y'all want the next topic to be about next week.
You can send an inbox to Tashikwa.
Yeah, or just comment on the post.
Yeah, at any time. If you come up with something or think of something, or it comes to you, or you have a testimony that you want read,
yeah,
but maybe you don't
Auntie Rhonda talking about she don't remember. Who does that? Auntie Rhonda goes to comment about something she don't remember when it stopped. But you was the one who told her.
Right. Wendy still ain't said nothing back.
She got on and got off.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that was all self-love. I mean, of course, there's more stuff with self-love. It's just, I think everything that we talked about just come down to discovering yourself and spending that time.
This is how girls talk. We don't stay on one. Girl talk.
Right, we hop all over the place and talk about different stuff. And I'm glad that I seen men watching it too, because I feel like anybody that has a daughter or a wife, girlfriend, anything, or even in the future should know
how you interact with a woman.
Yeah, should know what women will talk about, how we feel, what challenges or things we done went through to discover ourselves. And then this self-love is for men too, so y'all discover yourself too. Because we don't need y'all bringing that toxic stuff to us when we discover ourselves, and y'all come in bothering us. Somehow broken. Yes, because Lord knows. But yeah, so that was self-love. Like I said, comment on this post, on this live, or face good evening, young ladies. Could I assist you with anything? Who is that? But yeah, just comment on the live or on the post right on my wall. If you got a topic, inbox me, anything like that, to tell me the next topic y'all want to hear, or if y'all want to hear more about self-love, then we can have them on again. All right.
I need to self-love this.
He coming. Faith said that boy comment. Faith said he coming to be toxic.